Hey everybody, it's Pastor Chris coming to you from my office on Thursday, May the 14th. I was struck as I was writing my sermon for this week about connections to last week. Maybe you heard the sermon last week, and not only the sermon, but the kind of layout of the sermon. If you remember, I talked about what I called a 4-page sermon technique or format. We talked about how you might go about writing a sermon or just studying scripture. And we talked about how there's sometimes 4 movements or pages in that process. We think about a difficulty we might face in our own lives. We talk about a difficulty we might see that parallels that in the text of scripture. We see a resolution in the text, and it might help us or guide us toward a resolution in our own lives. So we talked about the road to Emmaus, how the disciples couldn't see Jesus, how Jesus appeared to them, and we talked about our own lives, about how that's difficult for us and how we might still see Jesus today. So oftentimes we do those 4 pages: difficulty in our own lives, a parallel difficulty in the text, a resolution found in the text, and how that might lead us toward a resolution in our lives. Well, as I was writing the sermon for this week, I realized that the pages are going to get mixed up a little bit. And so as you listen this week, I challenge you to hear how this all goes, because it should be page 4, the resolution we might find in our own lives; page 2, the difficulty we find in Scripture; page 3, the resolution we find in Scripture; and finally page 1, the difficulty we encounter in our own lives. So you might hear, instead of a 1, 2, 3, 4, you might hear a 4, 2, 3, 1 with a little 4 tacked on at the end. Again, we're going to talk about the resolution in our own lives before we find out what the problem that we're resolving is. So anyway, I thought that might just be, for a very limited number of you, that might be fun to listen for. But I hope that you'll join us on Sunday morning for worship. And also, today is Thursday. You might see this today. Tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., there's more information about this in our church email that went out yesterday. Tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., I'll be hosting a live Zoom meeting. We'll just check in for about 20 minutes for anybody who's interested, offer prayer requests, and close with prayer. So I hope you're able to join us for that tomorrow at 9 o'clock. I look forward to interacting with you, corresponding with you, hearing from you in the days to come. In the meantime, take care, and may God bless you.